Hello, Joy friends, and welcome to Joy in the Making, Episode 1. I am so excited about this new segment that I am bringing to the channel. What is Joy in the Making? So let me just give you a brief introduction to Joy in the Making and what it is going to be all about. I do kind of feel like, in a way, this segment is going to be a little bit of a selfish segment, but Joy in the Making, I'm going to call it Part 1 and Part 2. But Part 1, just to get it started and get it introduced and out here to you, is going to be all about me finishing all the current whips that I still have that are not completed objects, or FOs as we like to call them, finished objects. And so each week I'm going to come and show you the progress that I'm making on the particular whip that I am working on. And when that whip is finished, I am then going to introduce you to the wheel of whips that I have currently, and we are going to spin the wheel, and whatever the wheel chooses, that will be the whip that I will complete. And I will continue doing that until all the whips are off the wheel. That's when I'm going to introduce Part 2 of Joy in the Making, which is really where the idea of Joy in the Making was inspired. I am then going to add 20 projects on the wheel that I want to do, or I've been wanting to do, or I've bought patterns and I've never made them, or I've bought a book and there's a pattern in there. Something that I've been wanting to do and I just haven't allowed myself the time or the grace to do it. And so Joy in the Making is going to inspire me to spend anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour in a week working on that particular project. So 30 minutes to an hour is not a lot of time, considering there are 7 days in the week and 24 hours in each of those days. But the idea is just to spend a little bit of time each week working on something that truly sets my soul on fire in a good way. And so, as you can tell, I'm not putting a time limit on, when I have to try and have each of these projects completed by. And so, again, Part 1 is going to be all about finishing my current whips. And then once those are done, the wheel will contain projects that I have been wanting to do, or are being introduced, or maybe it's a make along or crochet along or something else, even maybe a knit along that has been introduced to me, and I'm going to put it on the wheel, and then we'll spin the wheel and we'll work on that project. And then when that project's done, I'll spin the wheel and move on and so forth. And then when all 20 of those are off the wheel, then I'll throw 20 new projects on the wheel. So I am very, very excited about this, and I'm hoping that it will encourage you to also finish up your whips and maybe do the same, or join me, especially in Part 2, with whatever project I'm working on, because I will always do my best to provide where the project I am working on comes from, how to get it, and if it's a free pattern, then I will definitely share that. So without further ado, the first whip that I am working on to complete for Joy in the Making, you've been seeing this on Yarn Joy Adventures, and you'll not see it on Yarn Joy Adventures again, except for when I have the set completely finished. Then I will come back and show it there as well. But so far, this is what I have done in this whip. All of these items are almost what you can say completed in their own right, but as a set, it is still a whip. So the first thing is this baby blanket that I have been working on. Excuse me. I am using Flex yarn, and it is it Loops and Thread? I think it's Loops and Thread. Well, yes, Loops and Thread. It is the Fleck yarn. And I'm only using 2 colors. I'm using the dark blue, and then this is kind of almost like a light mint green, and then it has different little flecks of blue and green through it. But this is the baby blanket, so let me show you the baby blanket. So this is the baby blanket, and this is what I have done with it. All right. And then also in this project, I have done a little baby beanie to go with it. And then where I left you off when I was showing you this in Yarn Joy Adventures, I was designing a baby sweater to go with it that matches. And as you can tell, the stitch in the beanie matches the stitch in the blanket. And the stitch consists of single crochets, chains, and double crochets. It is a combination of stitches that I took from a stitch book. So it kind of creates like a little bit of a shell look to it. And then I turned around and I incorporated it in this baby sweater. Now I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. It is not quite finished, so the next time we come together, this sweater will be finished. But all I have left to do is put buttons on it. But this is the sweater so far. And so I'm going to be putting buttons down the center of it. And as you can see in the body of it there, it has that same stitch. Now, it has taken me a couple weeks to really get this sweater designed and figured out, but that's okay. I'm very, very excited and pleased with it. The sleeves took me a while because I wanted to incorporate this same stitch pattern in the sleeves, but it just was not working out. And after frogging this a total of 7 times, the sleeves, I finally decided just to go with a half double crochet and then a half double crochet front post, back post for the cuff of the sleeve. But I'm really, really excited about that. I love the way that it has turned out. I'm trying to look at it behind the camera. But anyway, so I will be excited to come back and show it to you with the buttons on it. And then I'll be able to hold it up a lot better and you'll be able to see it a little bit better because it keeps falling in the front because there's nothing to hold it together. But anyway, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And yes, it is intentionally designed to be a little bit long because normally a baby sweater, you know, it would probably cut off maybe about here or so, say maybe right in there. But I purposely went ahead and did it long so it could almost be more like a long warm jacket. Whoops, might help if I leave it on camera. So kind of a warm little jacket. All right. Well, I want to keep these brief and short, so thank you for joining me for this first segment of Joy in the Making. I am so excited. I will continue to be bringing these every single Saturday. Haven't quite decided on the time yet. Probably, I don't know, maybe about 9 o'clock on Saturday night I'll air it. I don't know. I tend to like 4 o'clock a lot of times too, Eastern Standard Time, of course. So I'll try to make my mind up and get this ready for you to expect coming out sometime on Saturday. Like I said, probably either 4 or 9 o'clock. I just haven't really decided yet. But you know what? Please feel free in the comments to tell me if you'd like it earlier in the day on Saturday or in the evening. I'd love to have your feedback. So, all right. Well, you know the spiel. Be joyful, stay crafty in your own way, make your own joyful creations, and above everything else, my friends, remember, you are loved. Mwah. Nugs and joy, everyone.